We are starting with the audio test, iPhone 15 Pro Max versus Vivo X200 Pro. We're using selfie camera in 4K 30 FPS. This is triple camera setup on iPhone 15 Pro Max and triple camera setup also on Vivo X200 Pro. This is the battle of iPhone versus the top of the line camera Android phone. I think that's it for the audio test. Let the battle begin. On the widest portrait mode, you got a warmer white balance on Vivo X200 Pro as opposed to the natural looking iPhone 15 Pro Max. You would see that the iPhone is crushing the blacks and the stronger contrast compared to the brighter and better exposed Vivo X200 Pro. Indoors, you would see the tendency of iPhone to make the image and skin tone warmer, while you have a brighter and whitier Vivo X200 Pro.
Where's the competition? Cause I don't see none. Matter of fact, there'll be none. So y'all.
On 2x, both phones looks really good. We got an artificial looking image on Vivo X200 Pro and natural looking on iPhone. If we have a strong light source at the back, iPhone 15 Pro Max will manage the subject better compared to X200 Pro. The subject separation and edge detection are really good on both phones, but you have a creamier background blur on Vivo compared to the iPhone. On portrait zoom, I like the details on both phones. I like that the individual hair strands were captured on Vivo X200 Pro. I think Vivo creates better portrait zoom than the iPhone competition.
Trophies in the future. Maybe even.
Again, stronger beautification on Vivo but natural looking on the iPhone.
From the ground, I had to rise from out the dirt.
Watch this, I'ma show you.
On the selfie, I think the sensor on the iPhone 15 Pro Max is superior than Vivo X200 Pro. You got more details and sharper subject on the Apple iPhone.
Watch this, I'ma show you how I do it. Like a pro, gotta hustle, get through it. No sweat, good when I'm moving. I'ma rise, listen to it.
So this is the video quality test, Vivo X200 Pro versus iPhone 15 Pro Max. So why are we doing this comparison test? Two things. Maybe an iPhone user wanted to switch to an Android camera-centric phone, then this video will be for you. And also for those people who wanted to buy a flagship phone, you might find both of these phones on the same price range on the used market for iPhone and brand new on Vivo X200 Pro. So again, this video is for you. We're shooting 4K 30 FPS using the selfie video recording of iPhone 15 Pro Max and Vivo X200 Pro. In terms of video quality, I always like the colors and the warmer look on iPhone 15 Pro Max. In fact, I always use this for vlogging on my personal channel. While on Vivo X200 Pro, we have a natural looking tone, cooler compared to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I think this will be a matter of personal choice. I think that's it for the selfie video recording. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now we're testing the rear camera, starting with the ultra-wide lens 4K 30 FPS on both phones. So we have 0.5x field of view on iPhone 15 Pro Max and 0.6 on Vivo X200 Pro. So I think iPhone 16, or rather iPhone 15 Pro is wider than the competition. In terms of the sensor size and the resolution, we have 12 megapixel sensor, 1/2.55 on iPhone 15 Pro Max, and 50 megapixel sensor, 1/2.76 on Vivo X200 Pro. So we have a bigger sensor on iPhone 15 Pro Max, plus the fact that you only have 12 megapixels, so bigger square per inch on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Better low-light video performance on the iPhone. Later we will check this at the end of this video, so stay tuned. In terms of video quality, which phone do you think is better in terms of the ultra-wide lens? So checking this pink ball, which phone do you think is better in terms of colors and also my skin tone? I think that's it for the ultra-wide. Now let's check the main. Now we're checking the main sensor, 4K 30 FPS. We can shoot 8K 30 FPS on Vivo X200 Pro. Later we will check this outdoors. There's also sensor shift OIS on iPhone. In terms of specification, we have 1/1.28 sensor on both phones, 50 megapixel sensor on Vivo X200 Pro, and only 48 megapixel, 2 megapixel shy on iPhone 15 Pro Max. Same sensor size, but in terms of technology, we have a lot on iPhone 15 Pro Max, especially the sensor shift OIS. Later, we will test this on our stabilization test outdoors. I think that's it for the main sensor. Now let's check the zoom. And lastly, on our video quality test, we have 5 times optical zoom on iPhone 15 Pro Max and 3.7x. A little bit odd on Vivo X200 Pro, but in terms of the resolution, we have 50 megapixel sensor, periscope telephoto on iPhone 15 Pro Max, and a whopping 200 megapixel 1/1.4 on Vivo X200 Pro. I think that's it for our video quality test. Now let's check the image quality. We got an HDR looking image on Vivo X200 Pro. You will see that the colors are blending in. While you have a color accurate iPhone 15 Pro Max, the highlights and shadows are well defined. Outdoors, we got a darker sky on iPhone 15 Pro Max and bluer on Vivo X200 Pro. I think that the colors on Vivo X200 Pro is brighter and more vivid. On the main sensor, both has 1/1.28-inch sensor. They both have the same out of focus area. If you go on the close-up shots, I noticed that the iPhone crushes the shadows and the blacks, giving a more contrasty look. White balance are almost the same outdoors, it's just a difference on the exposure. You see that the trees are better exposed on X200 Pro compared to iPhone 15 Pro Max, but indoors is a different story. We got a warmer white balance on the iPhone. We got ultra-wide main sensor and zoom on both phones, 3.7x versus 5x, and we have 100 times zoom on Vivo X200 Pro. Battle of slow motion, we got full HD on iPhone 15 Pro Max and we got 4K 120 FPS on Vivo X200 Pro. Alright, let's start with the outdoor video. This is the selfie camera in 4K 30 FPS on both phones. Look at the colors. I like the colors on iPhone 15 Pro Max, but natural looking on Vivo X200 Pro. Looking at the sky, bluer on iPhone 15 Pro Max and darker on Vivo X200 Pro. You have better and stronger contrast on Vivo X200 Pro. Let's check the autofocus. And let's test the video stabilization. Alright, let's check the rear cameras. Alright, it's the rear camera test, starting with the ultra wide lens in 4K 30 FPS. Later we will check the video resolution as well. Looking at the color of the sky, again, stronger contrast on Vivo X200 Pro, and you got a warmer and more colorful, vibrant iPhone 15 Pro Max. Look at the colors of the grass. Again, you have greenish look here on iPhone 15 Pro Max. How about the autofocus? Which phone is faster? You would notice that my hands, the field of view on iPhone 15 Pro Max is wider than the competition. Let's check the video stabilization. Now switching to the main sensor. So this is 1x. So you got stronger contrast again on Vivo X200 Pro. Let's check with human subject on it. This is what it looks like on these two phones. And checking the autofocus. Which phone is faster? And let's check the video stabilization. Now going to the zoom, we got 5x on iPhone 15 Pro Max and 3.7x. This is the native zoom on both phones. So you have a closer optical zoom on iPhone 15 Pro Max. But going to the farthest zoom, we got 15x on iPhone 15 Pro Max and 20x on Vivo X200 Pro. Look at the quality on the video. Again, switching back to the ultra wide. Which phone do you think is better? Checking this image on night shot, you would see that the building at the back is well exposed on Vivo X200 Pro compared to the iPhone. The colors on Vivo is accurate, but the contrast on iPhone is stronger, looking at the shadows and the sky.
Bright lights, good vibes, let's make a move. Be free, live it up, just me and you. Say yes, take a chance, just one more night.
On pitch black condition, I like the smoother and brighter iPhone 15 Pro Max. Vivo X200 Pro is darker and a little bit noisier. Again, same tendency on the colors, accurate on Vivo, and stronger contrast on the iPhone.
Shake it out.
And checking all sensors, I think you will love any of these two phones. They match up pretty well on night shots.
Just me and you. Say yes, take a chance, just one more night. You know it's feeling right. Don't wanna shake it out.
Now, this is the low light video test, starting with the selfie video recording in 4K 30 FPS. We can shoot 60 FPS on both phones. So we have 32 megapixel sensor on Vivo X200 Pro, and we have a 12 megapixel sensor on iPhone 15 Pro Max in terms of the lens, f2.0 versus f1.9. So we have a brighter Vivo X200 Pro and better contrast on iPhone 16 Pro Max. I think that's it for the selfie video recording. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now we're checking the rear camera, starting with the ultra wide lens, so 0.6x on Vivo X200 Pro and a wider 0.5x on iPhone 15 Pro Max. In terms of the sensor, we have 12 megapixel sensor f2.2 on iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is 1/2.55 bigger compared to Vivo X200 Pro with 50 megapixel sensor f2.0 with 1/2.73. So I expect that probably iPhone 15 Pro Max is a little bit brighter compared to the competition. Also, there's a difference in the white balance. I think that's it for the ultra-wide lens. Now let's check the main sensor. Now, this is the main sensor and probably the best video recording sensors on both phones. So in terms of the specification, really good specs on both phones. We have 50 megapixel sensor on Vivo X200 Pro and 48 megapixel sensor on iPhone 15 Pro Max. The aperture on the Vivo is f1.6 compared to f1.8 on the iPhone. So really large aperture on Vivo X200 Pro. In terms of the sensor size, almost the same, or rather the same, 1/1.28. So expect the performance are top notch for these two phones. In terms of the main sensor, now let's check the zoom. Now this is the telephoto zoom on both phones. So we have 3.7x optical zoom on Vivo X200 Pro and 5x optical zoom on iPhone 15 Pro Max. We have a different implementation on both phones. I think I like the implementation of Vivo X200 Pro on the telephoto. So we have 1/1.4 200 megapixel sensor on Vivo X200 Pro that can extend up to 100 times on the image. While we have 5x optical zoom on iPhone 15 Pro Max, this is 1/3.06. Comparing to Vivo X200 Pro, twice as small in terms of sensor size. I think that's it for the low light video performance of both phones. Now let's check the video resolution. This is the video resolution test, started with iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is 4K on the iPhone. And we have 8K video recording on Vivo X200 Pro. Same with the Samsung competition. I think that's it for a camera comparison video between these two phones. Which phone will you buy? iPhone 15 Pro Max or Vivo X200 Pro? Leave your comment down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.